Hey, you guys ready, man? We'll be going live in a minute. As soon as they start, guys, if you want to join, the link is in the chat. Also, you can scan the QR code up above me on the left of the screen. Today, we locked the liquidity. So now the coin is starting to move. It's a big day, man. Big milestone, man, for Sosana. Yeah, we are rocking and rolling, man. You know, when you think about it, we haven't even started the utility yet. We're up over 20% today alone. And it's still the beginning, guys. We're still in the basement. Okay, we got the liquidity locked. In a week or two, we're going to start I think the affiliate plan is going to start like this week or next week, probably. It's already Wednesday. And then a week or two after that, the utility is going to start with the voting and stuff. That's going to be big, man. That's when people are going to start filing in. When people see how much money we're making from the voting, man, the utility, that alone is going to drive people, but also that there's a little affiliate aspect to this too. Okay, you don't make money off the coins. You'll see how it works, man. It's really a good setup, man. It's going to drive growth in the project. And it's going to help a lot of people make money, man. But with that, guys, we're about a minute out from starting. I just wanted to say that. So the link is in the chat, or you could just scan the QR code above me. We're going to be starting in a minute. Liquidity is locked. So, yeah, man, we're ready to roll, man. Stick around here, man. The project is docked, man. These are the guys that created the coin. These are the developers of the project. They're out in the open. So everything looks good, man. I'm excited for this project, man. I have never pushed a project like this before, but when I saw how this worked, man, I couldn't believe it. See, I'm happy to be here, man. I hope you guys are happy to be here. Let's go, Sosana, man. They should be starting any second here, man. Guys, hit me up if you got any questions about the project or anything. Once it starts, I'm just going to be quiet and watch like you guys. So just let me know, man. If you got any questions, hit me up. I send some emails out. I don't know if you're on my list. If you're not on my list, get on it. You know, subscribe to my channel, man. You can ask me questions there. I trade Forex every morning live. Got a 98% win rate. So subscribe if you like Forex too. All right, guys. And with that, we should be starting here any minute. QR code above me, guys, or the link is in the chat. Man, I'm excited. I've never been excited about a project like this before. I've been in a couple of projects, guys. All right, here we go.
Guys, welcome.
See you guys later,
Zoom,
man.
Our AMA. We are excited. We are fired up. Big day today. big day today. Lots of incredible things happening, guys. So I appreciate you guys all being here. We're going to get started here in just a couple of seconds, guys. So give me a second here to get going, and we're going to actually probably give it about a minute or two. But you guys know the drill, right? If you're here, and why don't you tell us where you're calling in from, man? I always SoCal is always first. I always think that's interesting. Mexico is second today, though. Wow. Iowa, Dallas, Texas. Welcome, guys. If you are in our Telegram group, go in the Telegram group. New Zealand, welcome. West Texas, welcome. Let us know where you're coming in from. I love for people to see exactly what's going on here with this incredible community. Tampa, Florida, Ireland. Welcome. Guys, keep going in there, man. Keep talking about it. Already we're in what? 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 4 different countries represented here. Chicago, welcome. New Zealand again. I love it. Welcome, guys. Keep piling in. Keep coming in. Guys, we've had some buzz. Seattle, Washington, Houston, Switzerland. We've got a 5th country. I believe that's 5 now represented on this webinar. So, guys, as you might imagine, incredible day. We are going to get started here in just about another minute or so. I want to give people a chance to to pop on. Canada, that is now a 6-country represented. West Palm Beach. Guys, we are. This has just been amazing. What's been going on, and we're still right at the beginning. Austria, a 7th country represented. Vienna, Austria. So what's going on in Austria? Lancaster, PA. Great place to visit from a fellow Pennsylvanian. I'll tell you guys that. But hey, pop in once again. We see a bunch of people still coming on, guys. If you can, go into the Telegram group. Talk about where it is that you're from. Richmond, Virginia. Good to see you here. And we're going to get started in just about 30 seconds, man. And I want to go through some stuff with you guys about what's happening. But first, why don't we just not bury the lead, right? The liquidity pool got locked today. Tennessee, welcome. And I know a lot of you know that because I saw the impact that it had on the chart the second that people started talking about the liquidity pool being locked. And that's just the tip of the iceberg at the beginning. I will just tell you guys that Delray, Florida, Tennessee, Vancouver, welcome. We have, a lot of people had investors that were saying, hey, man, once liquidity pool is locked, then we can get serious. So now the word is just getting out, right? Some of us are, we're eating, sleeping, drinking, and breathing this. Other people are a little bit more on the, they're on the outskirts until the pieces that they're looking for are ready. So some people are literally just starting to hear about this, and there'll be people still learning tomorrow and the day after tomorrow that the liquidity pool is finally locked. And what you're going to see, though, is now that that's done, we believe it's going to be quite a lot of investment coming on board, which should create some serious price pressure. So I just want to make sure you know that. I know some of you probably just learned about this for the first time right now because you got other things going on and maybe you didn't know. But I want you guys to be aware of that, and then talk about where we are, what it does for us. Now I know Dave is those guys did an awesome job. They were at it all night last night and then at it all this morning, and now they are finishing off some final touches for the affiliate plan. So Dave has asked for just a moment of grace where initially Kapil was going to pop on tonight and just show some snapshots of the back office, actually in a live environment. They're going to actually do that tomorrow simply because there's a few things now that the liquidity pool is locked that they can do back there in terms of programming to actually get it up and running to efficacy so that we can announce here very, very soon, and I mean very, very, very soon, when that 48-hour founder period is going to happen. So they're going to come on tomorrow with all this information, and they'll show what's going on with the affiliate plan, et cetera, et cetera. But again, they're going to do that for us tomorrow. So here's what I want to do tonight. Number one, let me start the recording here, and we will actually get into this. Give me 1 second.
Recording in progress.
Awesome, guys. Well, here's the thing, man. Welcome to the webinar. If you're looking at this for the live, or if you're looking at this on recording, that is great. I want to talk to you a little bit, though, about the question that keeps coming up, because I think a lot of people are starting to realize that where we are is special, right? They're starting to really get it. It's starting to kind of settle into them that they are at a special moment in time. And you're very, very early in something that we believe is going to be very, very big. And I'm going to give you some examples of that just as we go forward tonight. But one of the questions that has popped up repeatedly, and I've gotten this question a lot, I know Mark has gotten this question a lot, is what should I be doing now? People are like, hey, man, I don't want to miss this. I've been around things before where I did not even realize the moment of time I was in until after it had passed by. And then I said, man, I wish I had taken some different actions. I wish I had some different knowledge at the time. And I think a lot of people are starting to feel some anxiety about that here with what exactly what's going on with Sosana, is that it's starting to occur to people, especially if you're sharing this with others and you're seeing the reaction that you're getting. And I'm going to talk about that tonight. But it's starting to occur to people that, yeah, this is different, right? This is special. This is not just another one of those things. This is one of those, this could be the thing, that people have been, that are going to be talking about for years and years to come. There's always those people who say, I wish I got started when you got started, right? And I always say, yeah, a year later, you wish you got started when I got started, you would have quit. But now you are getting started when we're getting started, right? The people who are watching this right now, you guys are all foundational. You know, you're ground floor right now, and you're able to get the biggest win rate, if you will, because you can take advantage of the highest level of growth metrics, because you're able to get in with our token with prices that I don't believe you'll ever see again. I mean, once the momentum really truly hits, you're never going, my personal belief, again, we have to be careful. You know, our attorneys are always saying, hey, make sure you know, we're not financial advisors, we're not giving financial advice, you know, we're just saying that. But my personal belief is that once we actually hit real momentum, and we're going to talk about that tonight, we're never going to see these prices again, right? We're never going to see them again. And there will be people say, I wish I got started, man, when it was 40 cents, 50 cents, 90 cents, $1, $1.52, right? Man, if I got started when it was only $2, man, where would I be today? You know, now that the token is at 100 or 150 bucks or whatever. So right now you are kind of in some rarefied air. Unfortunately, you may not even realize it, you know, and because you don't realize it, because you're not completely aware of what's going on, because you don't know what to do next, you know, you may make some mistakes that, although they may not be fatal, they can be critically damaging. Let me just say it that way. They can be critically damaging to what we believe your financial future could look like if you were taking the proper actions today. So I want to say this, man, and you know, and I'm going to show you guys some examples, some real live examples from what has happened here just over last week. I'll share with you, including one that just happened today, like right before we announced the liquidity pool launch. I want to thank this person for doing what they did, because it's just perfectly set up for what I can talk about tonight. But guys, what I want to do is simply this. Now that we've got the recording going, and I think I've delayed long enough to let enough people get on, and I appreciate you guys kind of popping in from wherever you are around the world. I'm going to share my screen here for a second, because I want to definitively answer that question always of what you might want to be doing at any given time, right? So we've gotten the liquidity pool lock, so I'm gonna click on that, and eventually you guys will be able to see my screen, and I think you can probably see it now. And it's talking about Sosana Focus. And I want to make sure that we're kind of all on the same page, right? Because there's literally two things. Like if I were in your shoes, right? And I'm not, right? I'm not, you know, I'm not out in the field. You know, I'm part of the development team. I don't get to build a team. I don't get to do any of that kind of cool stuff. But if I were in your shoes and I were really looking to maximize this, and I'm going to make the broad assumption that everyone that is here because they want to have a positive financial experience. I know there's other reasons, you know, there's other things you can get out of Sosana, but I'm going to just make the assumption that for the vast majority of you, let me just say that, so we'll never say everyone, there's always an exception to the rule, but for the vast majority of you, you would like to financially get more out of Sosana than you put in, potentially a lot more, potentially more to a level of multiples of more, et cetera, right? And I want to, and so if you're here right now, I'm just saying this to you in all complete transparency and honesty, you have the best chance to do that. It doesn't mean that people who find out about us 6 months from now, a year from now, or 5 years from now won't have an opportunity to do that. But I'm saying you guys have the best chance to do that just because of the price points of what's happening right now. So I want to make sure that I'm not looking back 6 months from now and somebody's saying, man, why didn't you tell me? Oh, bro, if you would have just told me, you would have just explained this to me, I would have done this differently. I would have done this differently. So I want to make sure that we're not holding anything back, because if you haven't sensed it
they can't say,
from myself, from Mark, and from Dave, you know what I mean? And from the development team, you know, we want as many people to win and win big as possible, without question. And I think you're going to see that in some of the things that Mark and I are going to be talking about here coming up. We have a whole thing we want to do with you guys, talking about the very first vote and how to prepare yourself for that, and you know, not just, you know, from a strategic physical sense, but also from a mental sense, right? And what's going on and how to set yourself up for what it's going to be like as we go forward. So that's just a kind of a little bit of a prelude of what's going to be coming here. And I think we're going to be doing that with you guys on Monday. So just kind of stay tuned for that. So here we go, guys. Let me just kind of jump into this really quickly and just say this, right? I mean, you know, I've said, a lot of you guys have heard me talk about this again. Like right now, you should be in the massive token accumulation phase, right? When you have this immature chart and it can go through some wild swings, right? You should be in a sense of saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to get as many of these tokens as I can into my portfolio because I know where this is going. I'm kind of on the inside, I'm here at the very beginning. I'm seeing things get checked off, right? I'm seeing them do these things. So I see, I saw them launch the token. I see them lock the liquidity pool. I know we're about to announce out the affiliate plan, and there's all these people that have already pre-signed up, and they're going to want to buy into becoming founders because they're going to have that 48 hours. And I know what type of price pressure that's going to build. I know we've got the first vote that's going to be a process that's going to start, probably next week sometimes. And I know that ultimately that's going to have a lot of you. So you're here in the beginning, but you can, if you really understand how this works, you're starting to realize that all of these things we're talking about will just put more and more positive price pressure into the chart, right? So if I'm you, I'm thinking to myself, man, how do I get as many tokens as I can? Because every token I get today, I believe at some time in the near future, and not to mention the far future, it could potentially be worth a lot more, right? Could potentially worth a lot more. So I want to kind of be able to set myself up to be able to really capitalize and take advantage. So there's two ways that you can get massive token accumulation, right? This is not rocket science, right? Number one, buy and hold as much as you can. Number two, participate in the affiliate plan. Now, I want to talk about number one because, I've been saying this for a long time, buy and hold as much as you can. And, somebody asked me, they said, well, you say buy, but, how long should I hold it, or how should I be thinking about that? And guys, I want to give you two examples. If you guys have been with us for a week, I know there's some people here that are brand new, but if you've been with us for a week, you'll be able to, you've experienced both of these things. If you just got with us today, maybe you only experienced one, but something interesting happened today. So let me talk about today's one, which is smaller, and then I'll talk about what happened last Wednesday, which is today. I was on the phone, myself and Mark and Dave, and we were talking about the liquidity pool lock solution, and that it was about to be locked. And I knew that once the word got out that the liquidity pool was locked, a lot of people, you guys are pretty savvy. You're going to start buying because now there's investors that are going to come in as they start hearing about the liquidity pool lock, and you guys wanted to get ahead of those bigger purchases. So very, very smart for you. By the way, if you didn't know that and you're just hearing it for the first time, now might be a good time to go buy. Let me just say that. This is my opinion. Now might be a good time to go buy. But a lot of you guys were on it right away. We didn't have to say, here's what you should do. I just started seeing green. But here's what I thought though. I looked at the chart because I was saying, man, I wonder what's going to happen when we announce this. And I'm not living on the chart. I'm being honest with you, and I've said it before, I could care less what's happening on a chart right now because I know that this is all like pre-game. The game hasn't even really started yet, right? So the only reason why I would say you should be living on the chart right now, which means looking at it 10, 15, 20 times a day, is if you are still looking for buying opportunities. That's really it, right? Now, I know there are some people that are like, I'm trying to sell, so I'm looking for selling opportunities, but we'll get to those guys in a second. But I mean, really, if you are a person who's looking to make some serious multiples on your money potentially, then I would only live on a chart if I was looking for buying opportunities so I can continue to accumulate tokens. But I go right away while we're on the phone and we're all talking, and I pull up Dex Screener so I can see the price that we're at. And as I'm pulling up Dex Screener, and you guys can go back and see this if you want to, I see somebody sell 7,372 Sosana tokens for $2,028.89. I actually wrote that down just so I could be exact. So they got $2,028.89, and their price point that they got was 0.2805, right? And that's what it was at. And I said, okay, so it's at 0.28, and they sold that. About 15 minutes later, we announced that the liquidity pool was locked. And about an hour later, the price had gotten up to 32 cents, right? And I last time I checked, it's even higher than that, right? But I just want to point it out from that perspective. So the price increased by 4 cents in a little over an hour, which, from a perspective standpoint, that's more than a 10% growth. In fact, that person, if they had simply held their water, as I say, for 15 minutes and saw that we announced the liquidity pool was locked and then saw all the green start flowing in, even if they had waited till it was 32 cents, they would have made, in about an hour and 15 minutes, they would have made another $331 if they wanted to sell just an hour later. Now, I don't know, how critical it was for them to get that $2,028, but I'm pretty sure that they would have happily taken $2,359 just 1 hour later. $331 an hour, that's not bad money if you can get it, right? And my point is that there is this thought process. Like I look at it and I say, man, people, like every time I see a sell, by the way, I'm not telling you guys, it's your money. Do whatever you want, guys. You want to buy, you want to sell all your tokens right now while we're doing this. Well, I get it's your right to do whatever you want to do. But I'm simply saying that for the people who are trying to get multiples, right? You got to understand, no price that you see right now, in my opinion, unless you need it, right? If it's an emergency in your household or something, like that's one thing. But whatever your plan is, the prices you're seeing right now, guys, that should not be part of your plan, right? That should not be part of your plan right now. And we'll talk about the future. We'll talk about, well, what do I do once it's big money and it's big sales, right? So that was something that I saw. That's why I talk about holding, because I'm like, guys, listen, man, like just buy and hold. Don't spend money that you don't have. Don't spend money that you need in the next few days. Spend, your investment, risk capital, whatever, get tokens, as many as you can, accumulate as many as you can, right? At the price points that you can, right? If you find sales, if somebody sells off and see the price come down, buy the token, because I'm telling you that every one of these tokens that you get right now, I believe, is going to be a serious growth asset for you here in the near future. So buy and hold as many as you can. Now, something else, if you were here a week ago, and it's almost exactly a week ago, maybe in about, I don't know, because I think it happened Wednesday in the middle of the night for me here on the East Coast. So I'm Wednesday right now at 9 o'clock at night, 9:19 at night, I should say. But I think it happened like 4 hours from now, like early in the morning. But if you guys remember, somebody just came in and they dumped a ton of tokens, right? I think it was over 170,000 tokens that they dumped. Man, 170,000 tokens. And, it was, they dumped like 170,000+ tokens. And I think they got like 30 grand or 30 out of it. And their average price point was somewhere around 14 or 15 cents. 14 or 15 cents, right?
Crazy, bro.
I want you to think about something, right? So whoever, I don't know who that person is. I don't know if you're watching this webinar right now. I don't know if you're on here right now. And again, you're right. Your tokens, do you, right? That 30 grand, I'm sure, whatever it was, it felt pretty good to you. 1 week later, you look at the price right now as we're doing this webinar. And 1 week later, you could have made another $40,000 if you had chilled for a week. Now, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do for a living. I just know in the universe that I exist in, 40 grand in 1 week is an insane amount of money. Okay. And all I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, and again, there are people today that are like, well, I got 178,000. I don't know, maybe, that's a lot of tokens, but I got a lot of tokens right now. So maybe I should just sell them all right now that the price is up. Guys, you're going to have the same level of regret a week or two from now. I'm telling you, because we are in position where this is going to be a rocket ship to the moon. And you should literally be in this position.
The utility didn't even launch
yet. I can't hold. Maybe I don't even buy, right? I mean, just get to the point where you were like, right now, at this point in time, I'm going to do it. Are there going to be more sells? Yeah. Am I saying the price will never dip down a little bit? I can't say that for sure, because again, I can't control. I didn't know that guy was going to dump 178,000 tokens or whatever in the middle of the night. But what I thought was interesting was he dumped them and the price recovered in about a day, right? So the community is strong and people are already on it. They were like, "Ooh, price is on sale. Thank you, sir." And they just went in and scooped up tokens at a cheaper price. And then the price came back up. But what I am telling you is we are right in that mode right now where there's going to be a lot of positive price pressure things. This is the time to accumulate as much as you can. So buy and hold as much as you can, and then participate in the affiliate plan. Now, with that said, regarding the affiliate plan, guys, I'm not going to go through a detailed affiliate plan, but just, again, 3-level affiliate plan. Everybody starts off unranked with these particular percentages. By the way, if you've never seen this before, because this is your first webinar, this is recorded, but we also have other recorded webinars where we spend our time detailing the affiliate plan. For the purpose of this, I'm breezing through this part because this is not the important part for this webinar. But you start off as an unranked. You've got 3 levels of affiliate plan. The first level is DGen, where you can get promoted. Just go out there and enroll 3 new people. You'll get a raise on your first level of 5% to up to 25%, a raise on your third level of 10% up to 25%. Go out there and become a hodler, 10 wide, 100 on your team, no more than 30 for the point of qualification, guys. No more than 30 will be counted for any given leg. Once you do that, you get a bigger raise on your third level. And then finally, you get up to whale, where you've got 3 separate teams with a hodler anywhere on your team. And we will, even though we're only paying you through those 3 levels and we're calculating commissions through the 3 levels, we calculate, we do calculate the qualifications through infinity. So they don't have to be 3 hodlers and 3 different legs within your 3 levels. I'm just showing it here on the screen. This guy could be 20 levels down. He would still count for you. So that's it. And then you get more, you get higher commissions. That's the basis of the affiliate plan. Believe me, I am completely just blowing through this, not doing it justice, but you can go and you can find it. But here's the point of the affiliate plan. One other piece of this, by the way, is that there will be these bonus pools we're putting together right now for hodlers and whales, where you will actually get be able to participate in a bonus pool that will give you a share of every single sale happening within all of Sosana, all across the world through the affiliate plan, right? So people on your team, people not on your team, doesn't matter. You're going to get a piece of all of that once you get up to hodler and whale. So yes, it does get even better than that. The reason why I'm saying this is because this is another way for you to accumulate massive quantities of Sosana tokens, because all of the commissions will be paid out in Sosana tokens. And here's the big thing. There's some people that are like, well, I got a lot of money right now, or a lot of crypto, so I can go buy tokens, and I'm going to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 Sosana tokens right now because I've got the money to do so. There's other people that are saying, yeah, I don't have a lot of money. Maybe I can get a few $100 worth of Sosana tokens, which is pretty good, especially if it goes up 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x. But you know what? I can definitely go out and share this with some people because I'm excited about it. And in doing that, get my rewards in Sosana tokens, and I can massively accumulate Sosana tokens from that as well. And there's other people who are clearly saying, I'm doing both. I know guys who are like, I already spent 10, 20 grand on Sosana tokens, but I'm also going to build a massive, massive team. And I want to accumulate, hundreds of thousands of these tokens because I know what that's going to mean for me in the future when the token could be at $10, $50, $100, etc. That's going to be legacy type building for me and my family. So whatever your plan is there from token accumulation, I want you guys to kind of zero in on that. But I did want to tell you that there is a second thing now. Now that the liquidity pool is locked, now that we are approaching, very rapidly approaching rolling out with the affiliate plan, and then rolling right out with the voting mechanism. So we'll start taking nominations for the first vote, and then that'll go on until we get those 25 nominations, and then people can vote. And we're going to have that first voting period, that first DGen voter wallet will be used, and blah, 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 blah. Now that we're doing all of that, here's the second thing you guys want to focus on right now. Rapid community expansion, guys. Rapid community expansion. And listen, we're going to help with this because here's the deal. Not only do you have the affiliate plan, right, which is going to really help to expand the size of the community, but also, we're going to be doing marketing. Part of one of the wallets we have is a marketing wallet. So we're going to start spending that to, do press releases, to do podcasts, to engage with online influencers, to attend some of these crypto events where we get to take the stage and talk about the Sosana difference and what it is that we're doing, and start attracting more and more interest and more people join the Sosana community. But I'm talking about what you can do right now is you can go out and assist with this by going out and simply sharing what's happening here with Sosana. In fact, guys, if you remember the training that we did last week where we just talked about, not only do you want to talk to people and build the affiliate program, but you want to build it as quickly as possible while the price is low, because your rewards that you get today could be substantially worth much more to you, 3 months from now, 5 months from now, whatever, because the price goes up, right, of Sosana. So therefore, you want to get as many tokens as you can, as early as you can, and you can accumulate them by going out and talking about it. If you were really serious about, building up your own accumulation of tokens, and then about helping people that you know and that you care about, you want to talk to them now. You want to talk to them now, because right now is where they're going to get the best bang for their level of activity. The same exact thing that they do 6 months from now, just talking to one person who joins them while they're unranked, will not have the same impact as if they did it 1 week from now, right? They did it 1 week from now at a token price of 30 or 35 cents, and then 6 months from now, the token is, $8, $9, right? What they did a week from now will be substantially worth more to them than if they waited 6 months to do it. So just kind of think about it from that standpoint. Now, if you're going to do rapid community expansion, I just want to share this with you. I had somebody ask me, they said, man, what should I be focused on? What should I be doing? What should I be getting sharper with? And this whole presentation came out of that question that they gave me. So the first thing I said is, you know what, this is simple. I was like, you have one job, right? Talk to more people. TTMP. That's always the solution when you're doing anything that is in a leverage model. And again, this is all optional, but all I'm saying to you is, again, if you are the type of person who's saying, I want to optimize my experience here with Sosana, I want to get the most amount of tokens that I can get as early as possible, then this is the time that you should be doing it, right? Is talking to more people. So that's the first thing I want to say to you. And if you're going to talk to more people, a couple things I want you guys to think. Number one is master people skills, right? This is something that I don't understand when people don't spend enough time. If they know they have to talk to people and they know that, they can gain leverage from going out there and getting other people excited, why don't you spend time learning about people, right? And mastering people skills. So this is a training that I've done a billion times, probably. It feels like it. And I've done it for an entire weekend. I'm going to do it for you guys in 10 minutes. So there's a lot more that we can go into, but I just want to give you guys the quick overview of this, and you can kind of start really understand this. But here's the first thing is we call it the 4 fish, 4 personality types, right? Whales, sharks, dolphins, and urchins, why we call it the 4 fish. And there's these dominant personality types that most people have, right? Whales love to help people. Sharks are very money focused, very driven about let's get it done. Dolphins love to have fun, and urchins crave information. Now, just about everybody on the planet, right, has one of these as their dominant characteristic. All of us may have some of this in us, right? We may really be focused on making money, but we also love to help people. We do like that, but there's a dominant characteristic, and you can see it, guys. You talk to somebody for about 5 or 10 minutes. You ask them, hey, if you hit the lottery today, for $500 million, what would you do? The answer they give you to that question will identify them right away to you that they're a whale, a shark, a dolphin, or an urchin. You'll know right away exactly what type of person that they are. And here's the most important thing. First, you need to figure out which type of person you are. What is your dominant characteristic? And here's why you want to figure that out, because I guarantee you, whatever your dominant personality characteristic is, that's how you're talking to everyone else. And the thing you need to understand is that people love to be around people like themselves, right? So if you are a shark and you're going out there and you're talking to other sharks and you're like, God, man, Sosana, I'm telling you right now, guys, this is our chance to get super, super rich, man. We're going to get as many tokens as we can, and it's going to go up. When you're talking to other sharks, they are feeling everything that you're saying. They are getting excited over and over and over again. And you are thinking to yourself, man, I am on today, man. I can't say anything wrong. Everybody I talk to, they're getting fired up and they want to be a part of Sosana. The problem is that when you're a shark talking to a whale, they're not feeling that, right? When you're saying money, 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 but in their mind, the way that they're wired is, yeah, but who are we helping? How are we helping people? You know, they're not feeling that. So now all of a sudden, the same exact, you know, speech, the same exact verbiage that you've been using, you know, all day today, now you're talking to somebody tonight, and it's like, I don't know why they don't get it, right? If you're talking about to, you know, to a person who's a dolphin about who just wants to have fun, and all you're talking about is, we just got to grind, man. We got to get in there. We got to go hard, man. They're like, man, that sounds like a lot of work, bro. Like, I mean, when do we get to sit back and enjoy, you know? So they're not, you know, you're talking to an urchin and you're just giving them all this, we're going to make all this money. We're going to make all this money. We're going to make all this money. But you're not telling them.
Please like and subscribe.
You're not giving them the specifics. You're not, then they're not feeling it either. And this is where most people have the biggest issue at, is that they don't realize that everybody is not like you, but people love to be around people like themselves. So when you want to become a master communicator, right, one of the things you first do is you identify what your personality, your dominant personality characteristics. I'm an urchin, I'm a shark, I'm a dolphin, I'm a whale. Number one, you identify this. So you know that about yourself. Then you go out and you say, all right, I got to develop a slight change in my conversation depending on who I'm talking to, right? And that's it. So even if I'm a shark and I'm talking to sharks, I'm talking about, you know, my passion, blah, 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 and they're going to vibe with it. If I'm talking to people who I know are whales, I'm not giving them money conversations. You know, I'm talking about the fact that we're going to help people really learn and get involved in crypto and do it in a safe way where they're going to be protected, where they can grow at their own pace and they can learn about the technology of the future. But ultimately, there is going to be a financial benefit there. But what could you do if you were able to earn a lot of extra money from your involvement here? You know, with Sosana, how many people could you help? How many charities could you give to? How many people in your community could you help to uplift? If I'm talking to dolphins, it's like, yeah, guys, listen, this is going to be the coolest, funnest thing that we've ever done, because every couple of weeks, right, we just got this big, giant community getting together, man, and just kind of, you know, if I'm talking to urchins, I'm just giving the details. Guys, listen, this is how, you know, this is how crypto works. This has traditionally been some of the issues and the problems. This is the growth rate of what's happening. This is where blockchain technology is going. This is our place in that, how we're going to help, you know, all these types of things, because again, that's what urchins are going to be feeling. And guess what? You want all of these people to be a part of what's going on. If all these people are joining your team, you're getting more and more leverage. So master people skills, guys. That's all I'm saying to you, is take the time. Take the time to learn how to be a more effective communicator. You can start just by actually going there and focusing on what's happening right away with the personality types. Identify yourself, learn how to identify others, and then develop a conversation that works for each of the personality types. The second thing is this, guys, and this is about time management. This is incredibly important, because I see a lot of people wasting a lot of time. You get frustrated when you waste time. Time is the one resource you can never get back, right? So, you know, listen, as you're out there and you're talking to people, you're going to come across what we call these three types of apples, right? Red apples are ripe and ready to go, man. It's like, before you even get the word Sosana out of your mouth, and the moment you say crypto, they're like, if it's crypto, I'm in. Shut up. You don't have to tell me anymore. Just tell me how to get signed up. I love everything crypto. I want to rock and roll, right? I mean, they are ready to go. You know, green apples, which is going to be the most common people that you run into, no matter what you say, they're going to have some questions. But it's not like they're negative, right? They just got some questions, man. They need to understand so they know what they're getting themselves involved in. And then you've got rotten, right? Rotten apples, man, who are ultra rotten negative. Apples, it doesn't matter what you say. Well, so you can give these guys a free gold bar. They'll drop it on their foot, right? It doesn't matter. And they're just going to keep coming up. These are why not people, right? They're just going to keep coming up with reasons why not to do something. So when it comes to time management, guys, you want to spend 80% of your time looking for and working with red apples, man. They are ready right now. So if somebody's ready right now, you want to get them enrolled. You want to show them some of, have them start mastering the conversations. You want to get them plugged into the AMAs. You want to get them watching some of the videos that we've already recorded.
As soon as I saw how the utility worked.
You want to introduce them to some of the other people on the team, et cetera, so they start feeling really dialed in to our whole Sosana family community, and they are ready to go out and make things happen. You want to spend 20% of your time answering questions with people. You know, they're asking you questions. Oh man, I just one more thing. How does this work? But you spend 20% of your time. But here's the most important. The moment you identify somebody as being ultra negative, you're spending 0% of your time with them. If you guys can do that, right? Learn how to talk to people and then also learn who you should be spending your time with. You have kind of mastered the majority of what it takes to go out there and really build huge and get huge leverage and really build bigger Sosana holdings. And that's what this is all about, is how to get the most amount of Sosana tokens in your wallet as you can right now while the price is really cheap. That's what I'm focused on. The third thing, guys, is learn how to overcome objections. Remember, just because somebody has a couple of objections, that does not mean that that person is ultra negative, right? People may legitimately have some objections because they don't understand something or whatever. So this technique right here, it's the best technique I've ever seen for overcoming objections. It's called Feel, Felt, Found. Again, done entire training courses on this, but we're going to keep this real simple for you guys because this is just high level. But it's just somebody says to you, hey, man, you know what? I don't know, man. Crypto, it scares me. It seems like it's not, you know, it's a wild, wild west. And a lot of people, you know, they're just going to lose their shirt. And your response is, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. You know, in fact, when I first heard about crypto, I felt the same exact way. But here's what I found out, right? The reason why people lose their shirt is because they can't really tell the difference between a good project or a bad project. And that's why Sosana was actually developed to help people learn, you know, through educational courses and things of that nature about what are red flags versus green lights, but B, also be in a fully functional, driven, you know, cohesive community where they're going to have the ability to actually vote collectively on good projects and then get involved in those good projects, thus having a much better portfolio and also earning money along the way. That's why I'm excited about Sosana. So I want you to think about feel, felt, found, what I just did, right? Feel, right, is acknowledgement. This is important, right? The reason why a lot of people are horrible at dealing with people's objections is because most of us, the moment somebody gives us an objection, we go right to the solution. Right? We just say, yeah, but here's why that doesn't matter because blah, 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 right? And you wonder why people aren't receiving the solution. It's because of how the human brain works, right? And how people, how their emotions actually take them through something when they feel like they have a relevant objection. The first thing a person's brain needs to open them up is acknowledgement that what they said is legitimate. So when you just jump right to the solution, like, yeah, that's stupid, that doesn't matter, because then you've lost them completely, right? So when you say, you know what, I know exactly how you feel, that is acknowledgement. That is them. And what they're hearing is, okay, I just made a good point. I just made a good point. Crypto is unregulated and it's the wild, wild west and it's dangerous, right? I made a good point. When you then say, I felt the same way, remember, I already told you guys that people want to be around people like themselves. So in saying, I felt the same way, you instantly create connection. Oh, okay. So you're like me. You're like me. So you have the same concern, right? Right away, a person is now completely open because you acknowledge that they had a valid point. You've now created connection with them. And then you provide the solution. Doing it this way is 1,000 times more effective than simply jumping to the solution. So again, just some tips, guys, on how to communicate, right? Feel, felt, found is one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. It works all the time. There's a lot of variations of it. But again, acknowledgement, connection, solution. If you're out there right now and you're talking to people and they're coming up with objections, and they're going to have some people are afraid of crypto. Some people are like, oh, I don't know. It's a meme token. I think meme tokens suck. You know, whatever their thing is, right? Hey, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's what I found out. If you do that, you're going to be amazed how quickly people are like, well, wait, wow, I never thought about it that way. Hey, what can I look at? Do they have a website? You know, hey, is there a call that I can pop on? It's going to be amazing to you how quickly you can overcome those objections. The next thing, guys, become more attractive. Now, this is not about hair and makeup, and this is not about muscles and fitness. This is you asking yourself one simple question. Are you a good poster child for what you are selling? So if you're out there and you're talking to people about, I believe that this is the hottest token project on the planet, right? And they say to you, great, oh man, well, how much Sosana do you own? And it's like, I got $4 worth, right? You know, I mean, depending on where you are in the world, $4 worth
You gotta
is
start
a significant
somewhere,
amount.
man.
But if you're in like America, where I'm at, and you're telling me that this is the greatest thing you've ever seen, and I say, well, how much do you own? And you say $4, you lost me, right? You are not a good poster child for what you're selling. Now, here's the reality. Maybe you're just broke. Maybe this is the best thing that you've ever seen, but you're broke. But if you're broke and you know that people are going to be asking that question, you got to be prepared for that. I'll tell you how you deal with that here in a second, right? But also, if you were out there talking about the affiliate plan, you're like, this affiliate plan is the greatest affiliate plan I've ever seen. And then I look at it and I say, well, hey, and looking at it, man, I see everybody starts off unranked and then they go here and they go here and go. What level are you at? Oh, I'm still unranked. How many people have you enrolled? I've enrolled no one, right? You know, I mean, it's like that is not the greatest poster child for what you're selling. And you got to understand that part of what you're doing is you don't just want to talk about the example. Ultimately, you want to become the example. You know, people want to work with people who have their solution, not their problem. Does that make sense? So when I say become more attractive, like attracts like, people want to be around people like themselves, but they also want to be around people like themselves who have figured it out. That's the people that they want to follow. So everybody has to start somewhere, though. So what if I'm broke? What if I've only got $4 or $5 and I went into the chart and I bought $4 or $5 worth of Sosana because that's all I could afford right now? But now I want to go out and I want to figure out a way to start talking to people, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guys, then get good at this. Get good at becoming a matchmaker. Take it away from you as quickly as possible and stop trying to be the deal before you're the deal, right? Get to a point. Everybody's had to start sometime, right? You know, nobody starts at the top. So just get good at connecting people with other people who do currently have their solution, other people who are very attractive because they are great, you know, poster childs for what they're selling. You know what I mean? Say, hey, you know what, man? Listen, a sharp guy like you, you know who you have to meet. You got to meet a guy I'm working with. His name is Keith Lacey. You know, this guy. Let me tell you a little bit about Keith Lacey and about his story. You know, and why he's been so successful. And I can't wait to get just get you guys together on a phone or on a Zoom and just sit back and watch you two titans, you know, really kind of hammer out how you're going to take over the whole company. You know, that's the kind of thing where it's like you can sit back. You can let this person get excited about it. Keith Lacey get excited about, you know, getting on a Zoom call with the professor and know that, hey, I don't care if they're joining because of me or if they're joining because of the professor or they're joining because of Keith Lacey or they're joining because of Mark Ross. They're going to join on my team and I'm going to be able to benefit from all the incredible things that they do because I was smart enough to be a matchmaker and get the heck out of the way. Get your ego out of the way, guys. Doesn't matter why they get involved. It just matters that they do. And any way you can make that happen, if you can step out of the way and make it happen, that's going to be something powerful for you. Final thing, guys, is understand this concept. It's time to up your game. You know, it's time to up your game. I use this graphic because one of the things that I am most proud of is my brain and my mindset are always under construction, right? I will fully admit to everyone here, I am not a finished product. I will fully admit to everyone here, I have no ego about it. I cannot wait to learn from you guys, right? I am just a shameless thief of knowledge. That is my goal when I meet people is I'm going to learn something from you. That is it. And I can't wait until to meet a bunch of you guys. I can't wait till we're doing these AMAs and we're having guest speakers on, like people from the community who are very successful with different things, because I will be right there with a pad and a pen and just learning.
Absolutely.
Because that is what I'm about.
That's going to be another source of income, another way to make money.
I always want to learn more because I think the more you learn, the more valuable you are. And I understand that the universe will reward you based off of the value that you bring to it. So I want you guys to keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of cool things. Some of you guys are already very experienced at crypto. Some of you are not, right? So if you're not, you're going to have to learn some more about the crypto space. If you are very experienced at crypto, some of you are experienced at crypto, but you're not very experienced in maybe some of your people skills, right? So you're going to have to learn some people skills if you want to learn how to leverage some of that knowledge to actually create big windfalls for you. And some of you fall somewhere in between. So this 4 phases of knowledge, I just want you guys to understand this from a base level. And I'm going to respond to a text message that somebody sent me personally because it works perfectly into what I'm about to say. And I'm not going to say your name, so I'm not trying to embarrass you. I just think this is apropos. But there's four. There's learn knowledge, activity knowledge, modeling knowledge, and teaching knowledge. And this is the four phases you want to go through to create absolute mastery of anything. The first is learn knowledge, right? The first is literally going out there and, reading books, getting on AMA calls, watching videos, going on to YouTube and looking up like what is crypto, what is blockchain, what is staking, what is, that's learn knowledge, man. And it's powerful. I read a lot. I always say leaders are readers, man. I read a ton, and I think everybody should. This is an amazing world where somebody else can spend an entire lifetime gathering knowledge. They can put it into a book, and we can read it over a weekend, and we can share that knowledge. I think that's pretty cool. But the first is learn knowledge, but the second is activity knowledge, and this is important. It's like you can only learn so much from reading it in a book, right? You learn so much more when you actually go out and start doing it, right? So imagine reading, you can go to a library right now and you can read every book in the world about mountain climbing, every book that's ever been written about mountain climbing. I promise you, even after you've read all those books, the moment you're actually hanging off the side of a mountain and the wind is blowing and you're swaying back and forth and your hands are starting to shake because they're starting to get tired, you will gain a whole new understanding of mountain climbing from actually doing it. In fact, you'll probably realize at that point, clearly, there's a few things that you did not read. There's a few books that you did not read, right? The third is modeling knowledge. The third is finding somebody who's really, really good at something, right? And I've already identified there's so many cool leaders we have in here, man, that know so much more than me about so many things. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to follow those guys around. I'm just going to learn from them and do what they do. If they're doing it, I'm going to do it, right? That's modeling knowledge, right? You see somebody actually who's developed a real cool technique for something and you just kind of imitate them, become, just be a copycat, right? What do we say? It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat, right? So just be a copycat, be a mimic, right? And that's another way that you learn. And then the final is teaching knowledge, right? The final is when you get to a point where you are so good at something and you understand it so well that now people want to learn from you and you have to teach them. In order to teach something, you have to really break it down. You have to codify it. You have to break it down to its base points and make it, logical flow so that you can then explain it in a way that people will understand. So that is also very powerful, right? That's when the final step of getting mastery over something. And you guys got to know this because I'm going to tell you the biggest problem in the entire industry. The biggest problem in the entire thing, and this is about the text message that I got. So someone sent me a text message, and as soon as I read your text message, I promise you, I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to say your name. And they said, bro, that this is funny. Phil felt found, bro. I can't wait to get my whole team tomorrow and start teaching them that. Okay, so you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, but I am going to say, I'm going to use you as an example, and I love you. Call you afterwards and I'll tell you that I love you. But one of the biggest problems that we have, in this space is that everybody wants to go right from learn knowledge to teaching knowledge. That's right. They read something, they hear something, they see a video, they're talking on the phone, and they want to go right to teaching it. And the reality is they want to skip all these two steps in between. And you can't really teach something, like not really if you've never done it, if you've never modeled it. So here's how it's supposed to go, right? You're supposed to go from learn to activity, right? When you do activity, you do something called plan, do, review, because very rarely is what you think you know from reading about it or hearing about it or seeing it on an AMA call like this, very rarely is your understanding of it exactly how it works in reality. I'm gonna give you guys an example here in a moment. So you go from learn to activity and you're like, that didn't happen exactly. So you go back to learn. Like maybe there's something else I didn't catch. Maybe I need to watch the video again. Maybe I need to read again, right? And then you do it, and then you go back to activity. And this is what happens. You go from learn to activity, learn activity, learn activity, learn activity until you start really getting it. And at that point, you start modeling it now. You start seeing somebody who's really, really good at it. And not only can you do what they're doing, but you understand why they are doing it because you've done enough learning to activity to perfect it. And now you're seeing someone else doing it and you're mimicking it. And eventually you become yourself worthy of being modeled. And that's when you're able to teach. And that's how it goes. Learn activity, learn activity, learn activity, modeling, worthy of being modeled. And now you teach. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I mean to my friend who said, I can't wait to start teaching the Feel Felt Found tomorrow. So I was talking to a guy and he gave me an objection about crypto, just an objection about crypto. And my response to him was, you know what, man? I hear exactly where you're coming from. In fact, a lot of what you said echoes very many of the same concerns that I had when I first got involved in the crypto space. But listen to what happened to me. Now, if you notice, I did not say feel, felt, found. I didn't say those words at all. What I said was, I hear, I echo, listen to what happened to me. Hear, echo, listen. The reason why I use those words is because there are people out there who are visual learners. There are people who are out there who are auditory learners. And there are people out there who are what they call kinesthetic. They're hands-on, they learn by touch, by feel, etc. And after having a 5-minute conversation with this person, I could tell that he was an auditory learner. And I could tell by his language. So I used auditory responses in connecting with him. I hear where you're coming from. A lot of that echoes a lot of the concerns. Listen to what happened for me. Now, that is an advanced level of feel, felt, found. We didn't even talk about that here, right? But I know that because I spent a lot of time going from learn activity before I ever even dreamed about that I could get in front of people and I could teach it, right? There's levels to this stuff is all I'm trying to say. So guys, take your time, right? Realize, learn, activity, modeling, teaching, you cannot skip it. But if you do these things, if you work on this connection with people and these skills, you guys are going to become masters at going out there and building your businesses fast. You're going to build up treasure troves of Sosana tokens. And in the process of doing that, you are going to be setting yourselves and your families up for massive, massive windfalls. Again, that is my true belief, guys. And I wanted to share that with you because I think, again, that the people who get this stuff, man, those are the people that are going to have the best possible chance to be able to win. So guys, with that said, man, I'm going to obviously stop sharing my screen. Hopefully that is helpful to you guys. And you can get some information out of that. If I went too fast, it's okay. We recorded it, so it'll all be there for you guys that you can watch it. Or if you want to go share it with some other people, that's cool. But hopefully that actually you guys found that helpful. Guys, listen, we're right in the middle of it. Is what it really comes to. And I appreciate some of the responses that I'm seeing on the screen, guys. Appreciate that very much. I will say this to you guys. Listen, right now, do not miss this. That is Absolutely. The best advice I can give you. If you take nothing else from this webinar, take this. Do not miss this. This is the time you've been waiting for. You're in the right place at the right time. You just have to take the right action now. And every time you see people, I just take it the way I see it. When I see people sell, I'm like, man, what's the price down to? Maybe it's time to get in and get some more tokens. I actually call people and I tell them, hey, price just went down. Go, I know you were waiting for a discount. You can get a discount right now. And I'll just call people. They'll go in and they'll say, oh man, thanks for letting me know. I wasn't watching. And they'll go buy because I know that none of this matters. None of this matters. Any price right now is a discount, is a bargain. When this starts rolling, it is going to roll huge. And you're going to be happy that you bought. You're going to be happy that you held because you're going to be rewarded for it greatly. So guys, with that said, again, tomorrow, David promised me tomorrow he's going to be here with Kapil. They'll have some updates for us. They'll be able to show us some of the actual affiliate back office stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Mark will be back with us tomorrow as well. So I hope you guys found this useful and helpful.
Excellent.
And we will see you again tomorrow night at the same exact time. Thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate you. I'm glad for those of you who had some people were calling me up and telling me how much their value was up there. Oh man, $1,000 or just made $2,000 because of the price increase. I'm happy about that. I know though, guys, you're going to be
It's just
having
the
days
beginning,
it's
man.
like, I just made 10, I just made 20, I just made 50 because of the price increase. I'm looking forward to those days because I love to hear people winning.
Bro, this
Because I know
hasn't
what
even
it
started
means
yet.
to them and their families. So thanks so much, guys.
Crazy.
Appreciate you. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.
Guys, the link is in
Recording
the chat.
stopped.
Or you can scan the QR code. Guys, do me a favor, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the channel tomorrow. We're going to trade some crypto, 9 a.m. Not crypto. We trade Forex. I trade gold. I trade NAS. I trade US 30 every morning, 9 a.m., man. Set your alert. We're up like 400 and something pips already this week. All right, guys. See you tomorrow, man. Cheers. God bless you guys. Have a great night on purpose.